Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song by the Gin Blossoms called Hey Jealousy. And it starts off with this cool little lead-off lick, and we're going to end up capoing this on the 2nd fret to match the recording. But you can start off open A, 2nd A, and then open A, and then 3rd on the low E. So kind of that A, B, A, G is kind of a cool little lead-off lick. And then from there, we go to a C major chord. And we play C major. First finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, the second finger on the D string 2nd fret, and third finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now, a lot of times on the C chord, though, you can kind of lift off the 1st finger and make that a C major 7. Or you could add the pinky on the 3rd on the B, kind of make that a C major 9. Or another way to play C major 9, we'd be doing 1st finger on the D string 2nd, 2nd finger on the A string on the 3rd, 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, the pinky on the high E string 3rd. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major 9. So you want to think about using that for the C's through the song. Or if you want to make it sound really heavy, you could use something called a C5 power chord, where you do the 1st finger on the A string 3rd, 3rd finger on the D string 5th, and kind of work just the A and the D strings for a C5 power chord. And then from the C, we'll be going to a D major chord. And we play D major. 1st finger goes to the G string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the high E 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the 2nd finger, which is slightly offensive, but that sounds a D suspended 2nd. Or you could take the D shape and add in the pinky on the high E and make it a D sus and kind of say some things around the D chords. Or you could use a D5 power chord, where you could do 1st finger on the A string 5th fret, 3rd finger on the D string on the 7th fret, and kind of strum just the A and the D string together, and that sounds a D5 power chord. And then from the D, we're going to be going to an E minor chord. When we play E minor, 1st finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the D string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now, while you're on E minors, you may want to think about adding in the 3rd finger on the B string 3rd fret, or even the pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret, making that an E minor 7. Or you could use an E5 power chord, where you can play the E and the A string of that chord and kind of just work just that. Or you could take the 1st finger and go to 7th on the A, 3rd finger on the D string on the 9, and kind of work that with the low E string, kind of for the E. And then from the E, we go back to our D for kind of our intro and our verse progression. So we got kind of that C, D, E minor, D, and I'm kind of doing 8 downs on those power chords, or you can even take the big chords actually, and that would be a cool way to work it through the song too. Kind of keeping it really heavy or sneaky. Or a lot of times to support my voice, I like using something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the C and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. So we tried that through our intro progression. We have the C, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up. Basically, we're repeating that for our verses until we hit to our chorus. And on our chorus, we go to a G major chord. When we play G major, 1st finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the low E string 3rd fret, and 3rd finger on the high E string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about putting the 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string 3rd, kind of playing your G major that way. Or if you're digging on the power chord idea, you could do 1st finger on the low E string 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the A string 5th fret, kind of strum just the E and the A string to make that really heavy. So you have the G, C, and then a G, C, then we got an E minor, E5, D, C, and another C through our chorus. Now the weird part is to play along with the Gin Blossoms though, instead of starting on a C chord, they're starting on a D major chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 2nd fret, then now your C is really a D major, and your D is really an E major chord, and your E minor is really an F sharp minor chord, and your G major is really an A major chord. And And that gets a little weird with the power chords too. You have to kind of add 2 more frets to the power chords that we were using. So it's a little weird with the capo. But you could kind of kick it off with that intro, like a kind of that O2, O3, and then kind of hit the C chord, and you could work the down idea. D, E minor, D, C, D, E minor, D. And then from that intro, then we'd be going into our verse. Now you could also use the down, down, up, and then you'd have C, down, up, down, up, D. Verse, then we go into our first chorus. So we'd have our G, C, G, C, E minor, D, C, C. And then from there, then we go kind of back into our intro as kind of a chorus tag. So we kind of C, D, E minor, D, from there, then we'll be going into our next verse. Now, something else I think about adding to the song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, up, you can throw in a bass for the chord. So on the C, you'd have the A for the bass. On the D, you'd have the D for the bass. On the E minor, you'd have the low E for the bass. And on the G, you'd have low E for the bass. So we tried our next verse with a bass, down, up, down, up. We'd have C with an A bass, D with a D bass, E minor with low E bass. With bass down, up, we have G with low E bass, C with an A bass, G with low E bass, C with an A bass, E minor low E bass, D with a D bass, C with an A bass, C with an A bass. And then from there, then we go into a solo part that's kind of like our verse. Now, something else you'll kind of hear through the song, though, is little arpeggios, and what arpeggio means is broken chord. So you could kind of take it in the chord, and instead of doing the whole chord as a strum, you may want to kind of try and break it up. And making the bass note your first note of that idea can kind of give a lot of weight. So I'm kind of doing an A or bass, B, G, E, B, G, D, but you can mix it up a lot of different ways, actually. So C, D, E minor, D. That might be kind of a cool thing to try with the pick, or you might want to try that finger style. Or adding in other licks around the chords too. But you definitely hear some parts through the song where it's you can hear those little arpeggios in the background. So you might want to kind of play around with those and kind of mix it up that way. And then from that solo part, we come out of the solo, then we go into our chorus part. And you can even kind of try that arpeggio idea through that chorus. You'd have the G, C, tag with kind of our intro. So we got kind of the C, E minor, D, C, D, E minor, D. And then from there, then we go into our next verse. Now, if you know other licks around these chords, though, or other strum patterns that work, you know, feel free to kind of take this lesson and embellish it any way you want to. It can be kind of cool to kind of basics of how you could strum through Hey Jealousy by the Gin Blossoms. So good luck!